It's 11 a.m. in Vancouver, a beautiful day in Vancouver, and welcome to Women in Wellness on my platform, Wellness by Natasha, and I'm here with Dr. Michele Kambolis. Hello, welcome Michele. This is a very, very special interview for me and chat. I connected with Michele on Instagram 10 years ago. I had a different platform, and it was unfortunately taken down from a hacker. But I do remember connecting with you, not just through our wellness community here in Vancouver, but also because of your energy on your page. And it's interesting through virtual, you can still feel it.
You can.
Right?
You can. I find that.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I knew that I would meet Michele. I knew I would meet you. I didn't know how or where or when. And here you are in my home.
10 years later, and a beautiful home. So I wish I could turn the camera around so that you could see my viewpoint. But there's a beautiful pool, and the temperature's dropped, and so there's this gorgeous mist coming off the pool. So there's a whole mood happening over here.
And
I'm glad to be here.
Thank you
for
so
that
much
story.
for recognizing it. It's another passion of mine, design.
Yeah, it's a sanctuary.
Thank you. So that's basically, we met a half hour ago in person. So thank you, Michele, for being here, and thank you for those of you who are joining us. Michele is a doctor of mind-body medicine, registered clinical counselor, meditation teacher, and celebrated author of When Women Riseand Generation Stressed. A trusted voice in integrative mental health, she blends neuroscience and contemplative practice to help people regulate focus and live from what is true. Her work has been featured on Good Morning America, Goop, HuffPost Live, and SiriusXM. I am honored and grateful.
Thank you.
To have you.
Happy to be here.
Thank you. So welcome, Michele, everyone. We're going to get into our questions. As always, there's many questions. We may run over the half-hour point, and that's okay. So, and then we will answer some Instagram questions that came through as well. This Monday, Michele is running a meditation series, and I'm excited to be joining in on it. And it's 7 o'clock to 8 p.m.
7 to 8 p.m. Pacific time.
Yeah.
So it's an 8-week program.
Yeah.
I'm thrilled that you're joining.
So excited.
And it's a program that I've been teaching for over 10 years. I've been a meditation teacher now for 20 years.
Wow.
And
this is going to be awesome.
Started meditating when I was 16, and so it's really impacted my life in the best ways. And so it's my honor to be able to teach and guide meditation and support people in building in a sustainable practice, which a lot of people struggle with. It's hard to face the unruly mind and build in consistency, but when we do, it really changes our whole relationship with ourselves, with our mind, with the world around us. And so I'm thrilled that you're joining us.
I'm so excited to be a student as well. I'm always teaching this meditation and movement and so forth. I can't wait to learn more.
So important that we're lifelong learners.
Absolutely.
Teachers, we're all teachers and learners. So yeah, that begins on Monday the 22nd.
Yes. And so in this meditation on Mondays, you mentioned reclaiming focus in an age of scattered minds. Do you want to explain that a little deeper? What you feel, or what are you projecting when you say that? Yeah,
well, we can all feel it. Our technology use has skyrocketed, and in a lot of ways it can be supportive. It's a great tool.
Right.
But on the other hand, businesses are so adept at tapping into the human psychology and behavioral psychology and specifically, and they know how to capture our attention and claim our attention. So that's developing the brain differently, and so, I mean, as a consequence, we're jumping around all the time. Our brains have been conditioned now to, instead of sustain attention, to flip pretty quickly, and often it's fear-based flipping. So with meditation, we're reclaiming our focus, and a lot of people are practicing manifestation and abundance and visualization, and why are we here but to develop the life of our dreams? And yet we wonder why we're just not getting there and the needle isn't moving. And you might have really great intentions in the beginning of the day, but then at the end of the day, your attention has been gobbled up.
Wow.
And so meditation helps us to hone our attention, because if we can focus and we can hone our attention on what matters most, on what's most meaningful to us, then we're in charge of our lives.
Beautiful.
Right?
Oh, I'm excited for this.
So,
wow,
that's what we're doing.
What a beautiful answer. And they can still sign up?
Yes.
Yeah?
I think it closes probably noon on Monday. But if you miss that, you can always DM me and I'll give you a hand. Yeah.
There you go.
We'll work it out.
Yes. And you can DM me too, and I'll guide you along where to go. So your work includes an integrative approach, which I really agree with, and I always have through different variations of my own skin disorders and so forth. Integrative is a very mindful and intuitive approach for me. It's a blend of neuroscience with contemplative practice. Can you share what integrative health means and perhaps why you chose that direction?
Yeah. So for many years I was practicing in traditional Western ways, and I just didn't feel, I felt like there was something missing, that that people weren't getting better in a full and sustainable way. So there might be some improvement, but then symptoms would just show up in another domain of their life. And so it felt important to me to go back to school. I went back to do a PhD in mind-body medicine, and really expanded my knowledge and my clinical toolkit to ensure that no part of us was left unaddressed. And a lot of the people coming to me were very bright, insightful people who were committed to their health, and some aspects were being over-treated in our Western system, and other parts of them were being utterly ignored. And so once we started taking an integrative approach, their whole mind-body system began to come into coherence.
Beautiful.
So, I mean, just as an example, I mean, so often people will come to me with anxiety or even more severe panic disorder, and when we started to look at their nutritional life and their blood sugar levels, it became very clear that they were on a blood sugar roller coaster. And once we stabilized blood sugar levels, anxiety came down exponentially, and they were able to go off their anti-anxiety medication. So, but that's just one aspect. That
piece perhaps would have been missing.
Right. If you go to psychiatry,
correct,
that isn't often explored. We don't, through some of the Western channels, or the mainstream channels, we don't always look at, what does lifestyle look like? Movement and sleep health and
so many other
mind-body health, balance, connection, community, sense of purpose. And so, if any of those factors are at a low or a need isn't being met, then we're in disequilibrium. So
love that.
So we're treating, instead of treating the symptom, we're going right into the soil.
Yeah, which is within.
Yeah.
Let's go within and let's unveil the onion, right? Beautiful. So, okay, Michele, there are 5 lifestyle factors that you mentioned are linked to emotional well-being.
Yeah, and there are many more, but
More.
we'll talk about the core. And I mean, many of them, if you think about when we're born and what we're here to master, as soon as we enter into this world, what is it? It's eating,
The basics.
sleeping, moving our body, connecting, bonding.
Nourishment and needs.
Exactly. So, I mean, this is really our lifelong process. So, what does our nutrition look like? Blood sugar levels. Our gut health is significant in terms of our emotional well-being and our mental health, and we know that the serotonin receptors related to mood are in our gut biome, and so important that we have a gut biome healthy.
That's healthy and happy.
A diet, exactly. Yeah. So nutrition is key. Movement. So when we're moving our body, we're getting more endorphins and we're releasing neurotoxins and bringing our body into balance. It decreases anxiety, decreases depression, amplifies oxygen to the brain. So we're getting, nutrients, sustenance to the brain, and sleep. So now this is the first to go. I don't know how it is for y'all, but sleep is something that is a struggle for most, and it's a whole host of different factors. What I hear from people, and I often feel this way myself, is we have busy days and often supporting and giving to others, and so by the end of the day you have a quiet time and you would like that time to nourish yourself, to practice some self-care. But as we do that, we turn on Netflix or we grab a cookie, and all of these stimulants make it hard to then go to sleep. But if instead we were able to just pause and put those things aside and go to bed earlier, then
and it's a beautiful cycle. Then you wake up earlier. And the pattern is shifted.
And hopefully when you're waking up earlier, you're getting light to the retina, because that's really key in sleep regulation. When you're sleeping, we have glial cells that are like the cleanup crew for your brain, releasing and flushing out neurotoxins, which is really important for brain health.
It's so such a basic concept, but it's such a complex concept. Yesterday, my group of students, that was the topic. Are we getting enough sleep? And it's just a matter also, I feel, of just prioritizing and shifting the schedule. Like you said, you don't need to be on your phone at a certain hour. Get into the discipline and the habits, perhaps, to shift that, the cookie, the late night cookie and whatever, the coziness, turn it into sleep.
So we're honing our focus and our sense of presence is such an important part, because often these are automatic reactions, and by the time we notice, we've done the thing, whatever that thing happens to be. And yes, the conversation is about, are we getting enough sleep, but also what is the quality of sleep? REM
That's a big one
deep
too.
Sleep.
Yes. Mm-hmm. What is the quality of sleep? Is your brain half awake? Is there light in the room that is affecting this sleep, and so forth? So, okay, did you cover the 5?
No, the other part is connection,
right?
Community, meaningful relationships.
Right, like
when we feel felt, we feel safe. It's essential for our sense of safety in the world.
Which is really interesting. When I called Michele and asked you to join me here, that word, community and connection, did come up a few times in our conversation, and even through social media, being someone who shares my work. It's not enough just to share me. It doesn't feel enough for me. This feels more, and creating connection And I think that a lot of individuals online also feel the same way. When you're sharing a small business or a talent that you have, it's not enough to sit in that alone. Creating community is where we grow and learn from each other. We can't know everything all on our own. So,
well, thank you for adding that, because and your own personal experience of it, because I think it mirrors what so many of us feel, which is, and especially in the age of technology, and we're still recovering post-COVID, and so when we are in real time together, there are very different shifts that are happening in the body. Our oxytocin increases, and we go into a parasympathetic state, into greater coherence, as long as the people that we're with aren't too elevated.
The energy is flowing in a beautiful
so it's
way.
like aligned connection. Aligned connection. In time, our heartbeat even starts to match one another. So when you bring people into your Pilates studio, that's an enormous support to
That's
folks.
actually a really good point too, and I think some of them may be watching, but they'll come in with
any Pilates.
Yes, there are, even some of my students, and the energy is all over when they enter from different worlds that we're all coming from, and then it synchronizes in the space. And
isn't it beautiful when you feel that shift? It's just palpable.
It's beautiful. So yes, community, absolutely, and connections. And being, I also want to say that whenever I can do these lives together with someone, I much prefer it. Like you sitting here with me, as opposed to a double screen, on the...
So, and then the fifth factor is practices that focus on our internal world. So any kind of practice that allows you to turn inward in order to really hear your higher consciousness, right? Where we're dropping the conditioning, and where the mind, the busy chatter, is quieting. And
so
we can
what would an
begin
example of that be? Your creative world, or meditation again, or
anything that brings you into mental stillness.
Beautiful. Oh, I really relate to that.
With a reflective aspect. For some people, it may be free association journaling, it may be art, it may be walking in nature, which
all of the above.
I can't emphasize enough. Contemplative meditation. There's so much pulling us away from ourselves.
I agree.
So to prioritize practices that allow us to really nurture our inner world becomes an imperative.
And then we enter the world authentically ourselves, and open-hearted, as opposed to being guarded or so forth. That's beautiful.
Yeah, less guarded, more open-hearted, with a sense of inner spaciousness. I mean, we know that feeling in the body of being taxed and anxious. We become less and less connected to ourselves. Higher levels of density in the body, as in you're feeling tense and strained, and then we find ourselves more reactive. So
exactly, and we know when we are reactive, or we know when we are tense and strained. You can just feel that, and you know the opposite when you're balanced.
And I think the part that we struggle with is, if I'm prioritizing this time for my relationship with myself, what does that mean for all of my responsibilities? But if we prioritize that time, then our availability increases, and so we can be more responsive, more present, more available to everything that we love in our life. So
beautiful. Okay. So we first connected. I first connected with you at a time when you were writing this book.
During COVID.
Yeah.
That was my COVID project.
I think we were all on Instagram then too. I was teaching live Pilates. You also, between now and then, wrote the book Generation Stressed.
That was my first book.
Okay. Okay. Before this one.
And what I was seeing is the number of children coming through my office door with anxiety was skyrocketing.
Wow.
But not only that, the severity of anxiety was increasing. So I felt that it was really important to arm caregivers and parents with play-based tools in order to help our children heal their inner world. And I mean, the beautiful part of that was as parents were practicing these mindfulness-based exercises with children, then they were becoming more regulated. So beautiful. Attachment was building, and so healing was happening for all, and hopefully still is. You never know when you write a book where it is and who it's reaching.
It's reaching people right now. Still, as you mentioned
it. Wish.
I'll add it to my post when I upload this. So with this one, When Women Rise, how'd you come to the title? What made you write the content?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're, as those who identify as women, we're in a social condition that is very, different than males in this gender-based society, and so, women have much higher levels of anxiety than men do, and I was just so curious about why that might be, and it wasn't hard in the research to discover all of the reasons why. And one of them is balancing multiple roles to a degree far greater than men tend to, and if we take it down the line to an increase in gender-based violence and lower socioeconomic status, fewer women are landowners. I mean, it really encompasses every aspect of our life. And so I wanted to focus on the lived experience of women, and also many of the clinical approaches. So the counseling approaches had a very male-based language to them, and weren't really fully resonating for many of the women that I was working with. And so I started to really shape those towards the needs of women. And if you think about it, when psychiatry was developed, it was at a time with Freud and Jung, and males were predominantly treating females, and all of those approaches were through the lens of the male. And so I drew on all of the best science and reformulated those approaches so that they really spoke to the heart of the female.
Beautiful. I can't wait to read it. Thank you for, I've always noticed
I can't wait to hear
Thank
what
you
you
for
think.
sharing. I will. I'll review it. Yes.
The book has 25 QR codes because I also recognize how busy people are. And what I often hear is, oh God, how would I fit in a 10-minute meditation, or how would I fit in that breath work or progressive muscle relaxation, or whatever it might be that we're using as a way to come back to balance. And so I recorded
that's great.
and guided practices so that you can be at home, or you can be in your car in a parking lot waiting for your child to come out of soccer, and have practices that will support you.
My last guest, Marta, said I'm the queen of 10 minutes. I am the queen of 10 minutes. 10 minutes is all you need to find that moment. So I can't wait. Thanks, Michelle.
You're welcome.
Now getting into a little bit more on that topic of women juggling all these roles, there is an aspect of women wanting to move into an area that comes back to themselves after all these years of motherhood and all of these priorities. You do hit a point in your life, as I am, and I'm demonstrating that to my community, where it's okay to take the shift. And it's not that you are deprioritizing, but you can't forget yourself. And so my community of women that I teach, roughly between the age of 40 to 55, that's where they're at. And I think this is a beautiful book to share with them. But do you want to dive a little deeper into that topic of where women are at a shifting point and wanting to find their own way while they're prioritizing?
So let's talk about that. And
Yeah.
But I have a question first. How old are your children?
17 and 15.
17 and 15.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you have 2 children.
Yes.
Okay. And so what they need now is so different than what they needed
100%.
5 years ago or even
Absolutely.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
One is graduated and one's in between high school.
Okay. Yeah. So there are so many ages and stages where we're shifting and changing, not only with our children's needs, but with what we're learning through our parenting, and so we're also constantly navigating what requires my attention most. So there's this sort of level of triage in life. And so when children are younger, when they're going through something difficult, so much of our attention is going towards their needs, and it should, as it should be. And that's what we want. That's fulfilling. It's supportive of attachment and our own growth personally. But then something really cool happens. They need a little bit less of us.
Yeah.
And so then we're left with, okay, well, what does that mean for my sense of purpose? I've identified through my role as mother, so much of the me that I am is tied to that role. So who am I if I am not mother? But the fundamental truth is, mothering is a role, working is a role, being a partner is a role, being a daughter is a role. These are all roles that we put on. But underneath the role is a whole and authentic self.
Correct.
And so during these times, we're left with this sort of existential angst of who am I, what is my purpose, what the heck am I doing here, right?
Yeah.
And so it's really just beautiful to sit in that and not try and fix it.
Not try and fix it.
And just be in the spaciousness of that question, as
love
opposed
that.
to rushing the answer. Because
And the
in that
truth is, that's what I'm doing.
Beautiful.
I'm just sitting in it. There's no answer to it, right?
And the who that you are, it emerges through presence, through availability, through curiosity, through trying new things.
Often as well, Michelle, when the outside world can see an individual shifting and moving in to another direction, the question is, what are you doing? What is your goal? There actually is no big goal. It's a process. It's an organic process of being present and moving with it.
And so this is the age of existential anxiety, where we're always striving, we're always looking for the next thing, and it's robbing us of our presence and the beauty that's right here in front of us. And goals are really important.
Yeah.
Being aspirational and knowing what your heart's desire is an important part of being human. But we also don't want to live from that place. And once the goal is there, and we're clear about how we're moving towards it, then what we want to do is just come back.
Beautiful. I hope that resonated with some of you. It did for me. So let's answer. Let's see how we're doing for time here. Oh, we're good. Some Instagram questions. So Michele, your work in this integrative field, what led you? What was your journey and what led you to this work?
Oh, that's a great question. So, I was young and struggling. I was in high school and I had an incredible school counselor. Oh. And I think so many of us have these stories where a teacher or someone in our youth impacted us. At least I hope.
Yeah.
Most of us have those
Absolutely.
stories. And I can remember thinking there really needs to be more adults like this who can just hold emotion, and he expressed so much empathy, and my parents were wonderful parents, but in a lot of ways, but really struggled in others, and so I didn't really feel that there was an adult in my life that I could really be honest with emotionally. And so when I went to university, I kind of floundered and went into all kinds of different areas. Floundered only because I found everything interesting, and so it was really hard to land.
Curious.
But it was always psychology that brought me back. And I just knew that I wanted to do something that would impact our human family, or at least kind of give back to others the kindness and the healing that I'd received. And I think like that is the way of the Dharma. I'm a Buddhist, so the way of the Dharma is that when we're supported and we're helped in some way, that the natural next step is to offer that to someone else. And so I just never stopped.
and your inner light is doing exactly what you should be doing.
It feels like truth to me.
It is.
It feels like truth.
Just sitting beside you, it's truthful. That's beautiful. It is very beautiful that this individual impacted you. Does he know he did?
He does. I dedicated my first book to him.
Nice.
So yeah, he does. Yeah, he is an incredible.
That's also a reminder. I have some friends who are athletic coaches or teachers. You make an impact on that very vulnerable generation.
Mm-hmm. And we don't always understand the impact that we're having, but just a small gesture of kindness. And I know this sounds a little cliche and sappy, but nothing could be more true than that. And if we're out in the community, I've noticed, and I don't know how it is for you, but an increase in hostility, even just when driving or out in the community.
Yeah.
And then we automatically make assumptions about people. He must be a jerk or whatever it is. But we don't know what people are going through. We don't know what led them to that action being.
I like the thought pause and wait before you react.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
just a moment of pause.
Just that little moment of pause goes a long way, and then you start to become empathetic or register it a little deeper.
So the idea is, am I responding or am I reacting?
Right.
And you can only respond if you're rooted in self.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful story to how you got where you are now. With all of this is a second Instagram question, there's opinions flying at us everywhere. I don't watch the news, I don't watch TV. That's something about me, that I actually never watched TV since I was 18. I don't watch these Netflix series or anything, but I do. I'm on Instagram. I still am able to keep up with daily life somehow, and it's everywhere. It's in our face. So opinions are coming at us on news and feeds and social media, etc. We're all here. We're part of it. how do you suggest that we manage it without eliminating ourselves completely from this connected world?
Well, it's such a complex question, and it depends on your life and how you're working, and for many, technology is a tool that's required for work.
Yeah.
But when we're becoming more mindfully aware of how we're spending our time, and a really, a good place to start is just charting your day. And do that for 3 days, and every time you go on technology, just write the time down, and that exercise alone will push out the technology use, because by writing it down, you're aware of what you're doing.
Yeah.
So awareness is key, because it's an automatic reaction.
Right.
And I don't know if you've ever turned off your phone for a period of time. Have you done that?
Yeah, well, even just on a flight, I'll turn it off on a flight.
And do you notice that you're still constantly reaching for it?
Yeah, there's a vibration, like, whereas,
Yeah. So I do long retreats, silent meditation
I love that, yeah.
retreats, and so there's no technology, but I find myself carrying my phone like it's a baby
it's still
bottle or
there.
something.
The weight or something, like a blanket.
Yeah. And but when we detach from the attachment, the problem is that we're attached. When we detach, then we're freeing ourselves. So, I mean, my best recommendation is having blackout periods.
I agree with you. Yeah.
There are periods of time in the day where it is just it's shut off, and it becomes a ritual in your life, and everyone can adjust. Even though
everyone can
there's
adjust.
this expectation that we're going to be responding right away.
I just said that to a friend this morning, a suggestion. You don't need to respond right away because you get a text message from someone. Your phone may be off or so forth. You might be in an appointment or a meeting. We do have a tendency in this generation to respond immediately.
So you get to do it your own way.
Like it.
Yeah. And I mean, the other thing that I recommend is just crowding out the use by, if you're in nature a little bit more, you're not going to be on your phone as much. If you're creating, you're painting, or you're writing, then
using your senses.
Then you're enjoying another aspect of your being in a way that's deeply rewarding, and so it decreases the addiction.
Yeah, which it is,
right?
an addiction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's that constant dopamine seeking that is taking us away from all of these other really beautiful aspects of being human.
Which we all are part of it. It's just a matter of practices to get into a different direction.
Yeah.
And nature, I know you're connected to nature like I am. Is that a big aspect of your life? Going out in nature?
It's one of the most important aspects.
For me too.
Yeah. If I'm having a tough time, I'll just go into the forest and not come out until I feel better.
Looking like this.
So, and I forage, and I really explore and educate myself about nature's medicine, and really honor our earth, and mirror with the plants and with the trees and with the forest and the water, and you can't have your feet in cold water and stay stressed. It's just, I think it's a universal truth.
Have you done that before? We've done that before, yes. I agree with you, and I often say that to my students if they are feeling unstable. Take your shoes off, put your feet in the grass, or here's your prescription, just go for a hike. We have no excuse in our
We're
door.
so fortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that is also a beautiful recommendation when we're all feeling uncertain. There's no book or idea that can answer that for me more than nature. Just feeling nature and letting it speak to you. So
yeah, and it's a scientific truth, you know, that when we're walking in nature, then our depression levels drop and anxiety drops, and this is science-based, you know, it's, as you say, it's a prescription.
It is.
It's a valid one. Yeah.
Beautiful. Anything else you want to share, Michele? We've gone over, and I'm happy to have gone over.
Well, no, thank you for this time, and thank you for everything that you're doing in helping people, you know, build strength and resilience and health and being in community. And
what a pleasure.
I hope, you know, for those who are with us today, you'll reach out if there are any questions, and we're here.
Yeah, I'll share Michele's information on my page, Dr. Michele Kambolis. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I feel like we're going to chit-chat a little more. There's so much to share. Thank you, everyone.